What's going on? It's the RapNerd, and fall is officially upon us. Autumn equinox was on the 22nd, and this is my favorite time of year. I'm a fall baby, and every time this year rolls around, there's a collection of movies that I have that I watch to really get me in the spirit of autumn. So I figured what better way to share them with y'all than doing off the shelf. Now I have a list of about 40 total, so I'm not going to share all of those because that would just take too much time, but I literally just went into my collection and grabbed the first 5 that I saw that were on my list. And as the years pass, I'll just keep chipping away at that list and showing them to y'all because I own all of these movies on my list. And if you're new to the channel, Off the Shelf is where I talk about movies that I really love, give you the experience and why, and then show you a little bit of the physical media. And usually I do that for one movie, but because this is going to be a set of 5, I'm not going to go as in depth, but I just wanted to share these suggestions with you to celebrate the season and get into that autumn and fall mood. Now granted, all of these movies are strictly fall vibes, no Halloween. There's one that has a little bit of Halloween at the end of it, but for the most part, it's just very fall. It has that aesthetic. You can see the foliage in the background. Everybody is dressed with layers to depict how cold it is. So this is just gonna get you in the mood for that. So enough exposition, let's go ahead and jump into the movies. Now the first movie on this list for me that I'll watch every single autumn, whether it be September or November, this movie just has that atmosphere going for it. They even reference one of the old sayings, which I feel like is disrespectful now to say, but Indian summer, to let you know that it's still fall but it's hot, which is currently what I'm going through living in the South. So that is Fear. This movie has all of the vibes that you can want. Even the way the film just opens, it's kind of like a visual scape of the mountains in the West Coast, and you can see the autumn foliage all throughout the mountains as the camera just kind of pans around, and it even opens with the dad jogging through the woods, and you really get a lot of autumn. And I don't know if this movie was made to show that off, but whoever directed it, Jason Foley is what it says. I don't know if that was part of what he wanted to do, but he really showed off a lot of the autumn aesthetic. So a slight synopsis of this movie is Reese Witherspoon is currently in high school, and she ends up meeting Mark Wahlberg's character, who they quickly fall in love. But as they fall in love, they start to realize that this motherfucker is not wrapped tight at all, and it just swirls into insanity. And this fits with back to school movies as well, because a lot of it takes place in the school, and they really hone in on the innocence of high schoolers. And again, this is a movie I watch annually because of how great it is. This is right up the alley with Scream and The Craft, and you had that moody kind of punk rock aesthetic, and this goes right in with those films. And I got this movie a few years ago. This was a new release. I forgot the name of the company, but they have these sets called VHS editions where you have the Blu-ray slipcover that looks like a VHS tape coming out of it. And when I saw this, I was like, I have to have this immediately. So this is the front of that. That's the back of it. God, I love this slipcase, man. Then when you open it, it's just the standard poster, which I really enjoy and don't mind having as well. And everything is pretty much standard with this. But again, this is worth it for the slipcase. I don't know if you can find this just ordering off of Amazon, which is why I first got it, because I ordered it when it first released. But if you can find it and you like this movie, this is the best version to get in my opinion. I guarantee somebody down the line is going to make a 4K or a steelbook of this, but this is the first movie that I feel like would definitely get you in the autumn vibes if you're looking for it. So that's Fear, right off my shelf. Now the next movie is moving up a few years, and we have Ginger Snaps. This is my favorite werewolf movie, and part of what makes it my favorite is the autumn aesthetic. The way the movie opens, it has a lady raking leaves in the yard. She has this thick sweater on, and once you get to the school part of the film, which is early on, you still see the autumn foliage in the back. Everybody wearing sweaters, and this is another one that fits right in the alley of like the movie before it, Fear, Scream, The Craft, with that kind of edgy punk type aesthetic. And yet again, I feel like the director went out of their way to make sure to show that, because like I mentioned earlier, this film has a little bit of Halloween at the very end. I mean, there's like this costume party, but still, it really doubles down on making you feel the autumn flavor. The gist of it is these two sisters right here are obsessed with death. trigger warning, there is some suicide play with the way the movie opens, so just want to put that out there as well. But really, it's a coming of age movie. One of the sisters gets attacked by a werewolf, and she starts to go through these changes that also kind of play as a metaphor for puberty and just maturing from a woman's standpoint. And I think that it really works well in that regard, but also still has a vicious nature about it, with it being a werewolf movie. And again, the fall vibes are all the way there. This is another one that I watch, that I include with my back to school movies, but I tend to watch it in September because it leads me into Halloween. So Ginger Snaps, if you've never seen it, definitely give it a watch. I'm pretty sure it's on one of the free apps, whether it be Tubi or Amazon. I've seen this movie mad places, so haven't watched it yet and you're into that late 90s aesthetic and want this fall energy, this is one to watch and straight off of my shelf. Now, this next movie is one that I've always wanted to talk about because I feel like it is very under the radar, and again, right up the alley with the fall aesthetic, and that is Behind the Mask: Rise of Vernon Leslie. This movie is so unique. It's like a mockumentary found footage style movie of this crew following this slasher here as he prepares for his night of terrorizing a group of young teens who are just trying to party. Now, that sounds wild and probably doesn't make sense, but man, if that does sound interesting or you can't make sense of it, watch it because it is great. Unfortunately, this thing is not on any of the free platforms like I've seen before, and that's what prompted me to buy it. This thing cost me a lot of money, man, because this is a Scream edition and it's out of print, so you can't find this anywhere. It's not coming out new, so the only way you're going to be able to find it on physical media is paying a pretty penny for it on eBay or like Mercari or whatever. But you also can rent it from Vudu for a decent price. But again, such a unique film, and I love it because of that. And it is very, very fall. I think you can even see in the picture with the colors in the background how they have the leaves there falling around, and you have the oranges and browns. It definitely puts you in the vibe of it because as you follow this killer around, as he's talking about, you know, what he wants to do, he's stalking his victims, and you can see the foliage, the leaves, the rainy, dreary weather all playing into the movie. And again, it's one of those ones that I watch right before Halloween or even after in November because of how much fall vibes it offers. So again, this is the physical media. This is the Scream Factory edition, and they always give you a custom piece of artwork for the slip covers, and that's why I love Scream Factory, man. They never disappoint when it comes to the artwork. So in the inside, this is the original poster of the movie, and I tend to keep it like this because it allows me to kind of cheat and have two different versions of the artwork. So you have this as the cover art, and then you have this as the slipcase. It feels like having two movies. And really, there's nothing to see on the inside. It's just the Blu-ray, and it's standard for the most part. But again, Scream Factory shines at their custom slipcase artwork. So I wanted to suggest this to folks who've never seen it, if you really want those fall vibes and something unique when it comes to a slasher. So I had to grab this off my shelf and show y'all. Now moving way up to a movie that released last year, directed by M. Night Shyamalan, and that is Trap. Now, the premise of this movie is a serial killer goes to a concert with his daughter, and the cops get tipped off that he's there, so they kind of trap him in the Coliseum to try and flush him out. That's all we need to know. That's all the trailer presents. That's all I'm gonna say. And this is just the standard version, so I'm not even gonna show y'all the ins and outs. It's literally nothing special, but the thing I did not expect about this movie when watching it was how big the fall energy is in this film. The first sequence, when they pull up to the stadium, they get out of the car and there's this big ass tree just going through foliage, and I was like, oh, this is a fall movie. And I instantly put it on my list of movies that I collect to watch around this time of year. Again, you can watch it now and November if you're still in that fall energy, because I know the world likes to move on to Christmas in November, but for me personally, November is the ultimate fall month. So a lot of times I watch half of this list in September and then I watch the other half in November, and this is definitely one to watch in November because they even have a fall festival parade at a piece of the movie that really doubles down and gives you that autumn aesthetic that puts you in the mood to watch football, get ready for Thanksgiving, throw on a cable knit sweater, flannel, whatever it is. And I absolutely love that they included that scene, and that just makes me love the movie even more and turned it into an annual watch. So I know a lot of people have seen this movie, but I don't know if anybody considered it to be a fall movie, so I want to throw it out there for y'all to include in your list if you're looking to get in the mood. So off my shelf to y'all, watch Trap for the fall vibes. Now, the last movie on this list released this year, and I said it when I originally reviewed it, and I'm glad to bring it up again, and that is Clown in a Cornfield. This movie is heavy with the fall aesthetic. Yet again, like Trap, there is a whole festival dealing with Founders Day that takes place during fall. You can see the foliage. Everybody has hoodies and jackets on. You can get that cold feel. I mean, there's even sequences during the end of the movie where you can see their breath blowing and that cornfield plays the background. This is so much of a fall movie. I watched it earlier this month with my wife, and we were just really loving it because of how much it put us in the mood. Because for me personally, when August hits, I'm already going that direction of fall. So September is one of the ultimate fall months, even though it doesn't quite feel like it. I like to watch movies that really get me in the mood, and this is one of those. So the premise of this film is a widowed husband and daughter move to this new town, and when they get there, a clown by the name of Friendo shows up and starts killing teens one by one. And what I like about this movie is it gives a nice spin on the slasher, and even has some underlining messages that you can take with you as far as the youth versus the older folks trying to keep things the way it's been. So I really love the commentary on that, and this steelbook was perfect for me. As soon as I saw it go up, I pre-ordered that mug. So again, steelbook right here, just the front. That's the back, and this is the inside. You have the 4K and the Blu-ray here, and it comes with these magnet stickers that I really love too. And on the inside is the infamous scene with Friendo putting his hand over the final girl's mouth. Forgot her name, it's missing me right now, but I really love that they included that sequence in this artwork. When you flip the front around, it's like a full picture wrapped around both sides. So if you've not seen this movie and have been interested, now is the perfect time to watch it, boy. It has all the fall vibes that you want, and promise you it'll put you in the mood. So from my shelf to y'all, Clown in the Cornfield. So those are 5 movies from my list of 40 films that have an autumn aesthetic that I'm sure will put you in the mood. Because I don't know about y'all, but where I'm at in the South, it's still kind of hot out, so I'm doing what I can to really put my mindset in the mood of fall. Especially October's only a few days away, and if this goes as planned, I will continue this year by year. So please like and subscribe if you like this, and I make this kind of content, so there's definitely more to come. And if you already are subscribed, thank you, and until next time, peace.
RapNerd Productions, no capping, that's word to mommy. Instead of banking on it, now rapping is just a hobby.